My fellow gem hunters, welcome to another episode of Bob and Tom over here at Coinverse. Guys, you know what to do. Go ahead and like the video. Also share this with a friend. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And lastly, click that notification bell. That way you stay up to date to the latest videos. So guys, today I wanted to really talk about a few different things in this video that's a little bit different than what we talk about. You know, over here at Coinverse, our job is to go out and find some of the gems that we think could be one of the things that leapfrogs in the next bull market. I need to let everybody know from the beginning, this is not the bull market. This is the perfect time to actually be studying and doing your homework on various projects and make sure that you're not over investing or over allocating anything that you need, to things that you don't need. All right. So as always, a disclaimer, none of this is financial advice. This is just how I'm looking at the market personally. And I hope you guys get some good insight on it, right? So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen here. And we're actually going to be talking about a project that we have talked about before, but they just did their reveal, or they actually just did their mint. And I think it's a little bit bullish, right? There's going to be BBs, guys. We talked about BBs, how it was going to be a free mint, and I encouraged a lot of people that watch our videos to go over, make sure they try to get engaged in the project, and then also collect that free BB. Now, it was a lot of work to obtain some of these BBs. A lot of people did do a lot for the project as far as like going out, retweeting and things of that nature. Well, that is just, kind of like one of those community service acts. It really isn't anything that puts in really groundwork for the project. So while you may spend your time doing things of this nature, it's no guaranteed outcome of what it's going to do for the project. Now, what we watch when we're looking at projects, at least on this side, guys, we look at followers. We look at how many followers do they have? How many holders do they have, right? And I want to dive into some of those metrics as well as some of the macro conditions that's going on in the whole entire space right now. And let's just kind of get a feel for where we are, right? And see if we can break some of this down a little bit better, right? And again, this isn't trading advice. This isn't me telling you what to do with your stuff. Trade the way you trade. There are profitable projects out there in the bear market, but the ideal of these videos are to find gems to hold long term that you could take into the next bull market. Okay. So one of the things we see here on the share screen, yeah. So we're already sharing here. We see BB sold out. Open trading, official trading opens in 30 minutes. So they were able to sell out the collection. This was a collection. The first collection was around I think it was between 8,000 and 10,000 BBs. A lot of these were free mints. They did have a pre-mint or a pre-mint where if you participated in a pre-mint, you spent between 2 Solana and 3.5 Solana, and you either got elevated pods or enhanced pods, right? And then we'll look at some of the pods once we jump over to hyperspace. But what this was, these were actually just different tiers and being able to give you something else back. A lot of holders hold right now the base pods, which is where they were actually given for free. So we see Marty tweeted here, BB is starting from the bottom. We're in the bottom of a bear market with a free fucking mint. But this is to our advantage. Only real motherfuckers are left, and that's who we filter for. We don't need fake people with big accounts to support us. We will win our own way. So you have a founder that's showing up daily, talking about the conditions of the market. A lot of people who hold in right now, and some of the people that are left in this market are either very strong or just really got into this market, maybe seeing some DGen plays go really well, and that's all they speculate on. This is a very dangerous mentality to have when you're doing anything that involves investment. It doesn't have to be NFTs, doesn't have to be altcoins, doesn't even have to be stocks. This is just a bad behavior practice, right? Have a plan going into anything that you deal with, okay? So if you're going out and you're going to the grocery store, it's probably better to go to the grocery store with a plan and get the things that you need rather than just showing up and just buying whatever, right? You may miss some things, or you may end up with things that you actually don't need. So I try to take that same advice when I look into projects, and I just look at it, is it active, right? 2 hours ago, you got 100 likes, 35 retweets from him, Marty himself. You have people posting that they got their double down and bought a second BBs. So, and the nice thing about this is that this was a free mint and they already have some form of value. So that to me says a lot. Like a lot of mint projects right now that are free, they don't take off and go anywhere because people lose interest really fast nowadays in the NFT market, and the attention spans are about that fast. So hopefully you guys that tune in here, I can bring you guys a little bit of insight on what we really try to look for, okay? So again, we just go through this Twitter. I just want to look at some of the things. Here's the perfect tweet right here because it'll allow me to show you guys everything without having to go through hyperspace and try to figure it out. This is the base BB pod, all right? So this was a free mint. Last time I checked, I think it was about 0.7 Sol. They went up to about 2 Sol, okay? This is the elevated pod. This was given out in a pre-sale between 2 Sol and 2.5 Solana. And this is the enhanced pod. That's about 3.5, 3 to 3.5 Sol. And they've done really well. The enhanced pods, I think they made it up to about a 3 Solana floor, whereas the enhanced pods are sitting around 8 to 10. So still a really good return for anybody who invested really early if they were looking just to make a flip. Now, if you're looking at this and you want to invest long-term, I think risk to allocation reward should be what you think about first, right? So if you're looking at a base pod, and this pod is 0.7 Solana, and this is a project that you believe could do well over time, long-term, why not just throw, what is it, $7 to $12 at it, wash your hands and walk away and see if the project develops, right? I think sometimes when we mint things or people mint things, I think they want a lot really fast. And I don't think they understand the macro conditions of what's going on in the entire market, right? So we want to try to dive into a little bit of that today. One thing that I will highlight about BBs that they did really well, they were able to get a lot of unique holders really fast. 4,349 unique holders, excuse me for the hiccup there. So to have this many unique holders is already a really good thing. And the listings are still fairly low. I like to see this being under 10%. If it gets around 700, I think that's when you'll see max panic from a lot of people within the project. And I think projects have to go through that test when they first get started, because without that kind of test, you don't know what kind of holders you're dealing with. You never know who's going to mint your project. It's not like a profile that comes with every wallet that purchases the NFT and says, hey, this guy is known to do this or this guy is known to do that. So you almost let the market conditions naturally settle out when you do your mints. One cool thing about the project, they're still haven't done a reveal for the project. So a lot of people may say, well, that may be because the art is good or maybe because the art is bad. It could be either or, right? To be honest, we don't know in these market conditions. But again, when you're trying to speculate, make sure you speculate based on the risk that you can really allow yourself to deal with. If you haven't seen the art and you're a big art guy, then hey, $7 may not be a lot for you to go ahead and throw out there, right? But if you're not a big art guy and you believe in the team and you believe in what they want to build out, I think that's the further side of NFTs, right? And further side of community building. Like, do you trust the team to build community? And do you trust them to hold on to the community that they established, right? And that's one of the things that I look at, all right? So again, when we go through here and we look at some of the things that's here, we see these base BB pods. They're around, between, 0.74, and they made it up to 2 Solana, all right? And we can look at the analytics here, and they only are on hyperspace right now. It's another one of the things that, it's kind of like, not really sketchy, right? Because, the BBs were out to change the royalty market and make sure they were enforced royalties. And now they use Cardinal Labs for that. And they want to make sure that Magic Eden accepts Cardinal Labs or onboards Cardinal Labs before they list on that platform. Okay. And they've been out now for about 3 days. And you can see some good days of volume, not bad at all. Still very low volume as far as like a new mint on Solana, but at the same time, when you don't have a team that's spending money on marketing and they're not out pumping bags with big names, it's almost like you're seeing it grow organically, right? And then what do we see here? We see there's 13 between here and 0.77, and then between 0.8. So to get back to one Solana, you're looking at 26, 40, 46, 57 NFTs. And at this price, 57 times 25, you're looking at about 27 sold. So it's not like when you see these floors and they go up and down, you guys have to realize that I think off the mint, some of these went down to 0.4. A lot of people loaded up. I went through, looked at some of the top wallets, and this isn't hard. This isn't like one of those things where it's like very hard to understand. It's on hyperspace. You just scroll down when you go through the analytics, and it tells you how many people are holding a lot of these. You have people that's holding 85, 60, 57. But I also like to look at the percentages. If you guys watch my videos for a while now, you know that we cover percent of supply and how that can harm or affect the project if it's oversaturated with the top holders holding the most. I think this is a pretty fair balance between your top 10 and 15 holders. Not more than 5% of the collection is made up there. So even if they decided to, when the project does start moving, if they decided to, offload and take some profits for holders for so long, I don't think it'll devastate the project in a manner that it could, really kill it, right? So, if you look at it here, even people who are, investing, for 60, they're spending $500, right? And And it's one of those things where you could easily take 44 Soul and go buy a project of a greater statue in your mind. But a lot of these projects are looking, or a lot of people in those projects are actually looking for right now return. And a lot of them that are doing well, they have like different utilities such as raffles and things of that nature that's alluring a lot of people to use those type of things in the bear market, because we're all out here gambling right now. Like, we're going to look at the Solana chart here in a second, and you're going to see how much we're gambling, right? So we're just all gambling and speculating, and it makes it fun because we're so degenerate, right? And it just seems like fun. But again, when you go through these top holders, look at how many they're holding here. And the community is pretty balanced out, right? Like, even in the top 100 here, you know, it's between 6 and however many they're holding at the top, which is about 85. I think that's a pretty fair balance. It gives a lot of room for people to like space it out. Where I think you know, it's 300 listed right now, which is more than what they had since the project started. I think it's still very low in the percentage wise market. When we're looking at percent of 7,433. If this was around 700, that would be 10%. I love to see collections below 10%, and the fact that this one's even below 5%, I think that's still very attractive for the project. Obviously, you know, it will have to be some attention pushed to the project that's going to get it a little bit more of a volume day to day. But again, you're looking at projects that you're trying to be early in. You don't want to be the one that's late. Low volume, a lot of holders, you're still early, okay? So I like to think about that. All right, so I actually want to jump over here to Solana's chart. I already have it open, and I have it on a 1 month, guys. And the reason why I have it on the 1 month is because this is the macro, okay? So a lot of us, we jump on Twitter, we jump on social media, and we look at all of these, sorry about that. We look at all of these different metrics that people push out, and they show 4-hour charts and they show 2-hour charts. And all of these charts are really set up for you to have some kind of like, it's almost like a mind stroke, right? Where they just kind of mind stroking you and thinking that this could go this way or go that way. Everybody wants to be right? Well, the macro doesn't lie, all right? The macro says we're in a bear market, and we didn't just get in the bear market. A lot of people think this just started. We've been in the bear market since around December of 2021. So a little bit over a year and 20 days we've been in a bear market. And a lot of people just haven't seen that, just because nothing goes straight down. Everything pumps up, goes down, it goes in waves. The same way it went up, the same way it's going down. So we see that here. And with Solana right now, there's just not a lot of people bullish on Solana as far as like wanting to get in. And why is that? And why are these new projects not taking off and going to the moon as fast as something like a DGods, right? And I think a lot of that has to do with the macro conditions. I mean, if you think about DGods, they came out almost a year ago. It was around March. The sentiment was still freaking good. Like, you had Solana around $150. So a lot of people were still bullish and thinking this was going to be like a pullback and then just a pushback up here just to break through. Whereas we've seen that did not happen. And in the 1 month time frame, it's obviously a little bit easier to see. But when you're living this day to day, and you're looking at, you know, anything from a 1 hour chart, or if you're a spot trader, 5-minute chart, to somebody that's like longing, you could be looking at 1 hour charts and things of that nature, or 4-hour charts. I think that you can really get caught off guard by the overall macro conditions, right? So a lot of your investors and VCs and wise money are waiting to see how far this market is going to get pushed down. There's still a lot of negative leverage on our market, and rightfully so. We have all these different projects and different platforms offering high yields for no reason, right? And it's almost like a vacuum cleaner. Like, once it comes on, everything just gets muddled around, and sometimes you may lose your favorite earring and it ends up in the trash because it ends up in that vacuum cleaner, right? So a lot of your altcoins could be on the way down. One thing I could say is Solana does have a lot of support in this $11 area. I think we possibly see it dip, you know, a little bit lower. I'm not afraid to see it go to 10. Even, you know, my target here is, I have it at 4. Could I be wrong? Yeah, I may be wrong, but I'm not here to speculate right or wrong, right? Like, these are my personal convictions. That's why I have a plan, right? So even if you're thinking about, like, you know, Solana maybe potentially going to 4, maybe you can de-risk a little bit. If you don't want to get rid of your Solana, invest in some NFTs that could potentially do a return a little bit faster. There's a ton of projects building in this bear market, who's going to have the best one? I'm not here to say who's going to have the best. I just want to get with teams that are knowledgeable. And I think with this team, they've been knowledgeable. Like they've talked about everything that they wanted to do, how they knew they were going to launch in a bear market, how they talked about, hey, there's gonna be some times coming up where we will not be able to reveal and maybe push some delays because the market sentiment isn't going to be there for the volume that we need for our releases. And they could come up with a better game plan to approach these situations, right? So again, one of the things that we look at is there's a lot of like elements to buying NFTs and things of that nature. I think the best thing that I could always tell people, A, have a plan, okay? And then B, just don't overinvest. Invest what you're willing to lose, right? Like, anybody could potentially go out and become a whale in a project, but make sure if you're going to be a whale, you're going to be a good whale. Like, to be in a whale is a lot of things that comes with being a whale, right? So, if you're going to be a whale in projects, make sure you're doing it for the culture and something that you believe in. So I love the fact that the community is still really active, right? And I don't know how many people are in the actual Discord right now, but it's still active. And a lot of people don't realize this was a free mint. So with free mints, they take time to build up, mainly because A, they're free. You're gonna have people selling from anywhere from free to whatever they let it go for, right? But what you're looking for is you're looking for that project to be able to move in, move out, get good volume, put good information, and also reward the holders. One thing I do know about the BBs is that they're actually talking about doing a 50K piece collection, right? Sounds scary in bear market terms, right? But if you guys were here for the last bit of the bull run, that's probably when BAYC came out, and 10K was super hard for BAYC to get rid of originally. Where now, if they were to have a 50K collection, the other people will be able to jump onto this market, right, or to their market, and potentially even push it further. Not saying that BAYC's struggling, never here to say that, right? I think it's doing a phenomenal job and giving value to those people who invested early. But I do think they could onboard even more by having alternative projects other than Ape and things of that nature. But I'm not here for that. I think the people that are there are happy, and we're here to talk about BBs. And I just think the community is engaged in a good, waiting for some announcements. So people are still waiting for announcements. They want to know when the reveal is. The reveal has been set to 1 to 2 weeks from this past Saturday. So you're looking at about another 4 to 10 days of pre-reveal. So you're going to be seeing all kinds of things happen within the market. And again, we're still sitting at this critical support right here. And a lot of people don't short support, but again, a lot of people don't buy support, right? Because we know if we lose support, we just got to go find this thing, right? it could end up anywhere. But again, it's one of the things that I like to dial in when we get into these projects and we talk about these projects. I want to make sure I start going back and really breaking down why I'm bullish on this project, right? Or bullish on project. And for me, the reason why I'm bullish on the BBs is, number one, the team is trying a different approach, right? And they want to make it community driven. One of the project founders is involved in DGOS, and he actually spoke out a little bit the other day on Twitter and called out, how being an OG and being a builder, you don't get the support from people that you supported on the way up. And that's just the market conditions. I don't even think that's a personal hit on Marty. I actually think that's just the market conditions. Everybody is over here trying to eat out of the same plate, right? And it makes it really tough when you see other things come out and they could potentially dive into your liquidity, right? So it's just one of the things where, as a builder, you keep building, right? And as community holders, you keep holding, right? And if you want to help with the project, I don't think the way to help is to just tweet and things of that nature. Actually try to become a part of the project and do things that you're really good at doing, right? Like for me, I like making content, right? And I love talking to the people. So for me, I make content about different projects, whether I'm invested in the project, not invested in the project. I like to put out context on things that I'm looking at. I could be potentially invested in BBs and with $7, and I'll make a video about it. Why? Because it has my attention at the time, and it's something I want to bring to other people to see. A, if they comment down below and let me know if it's a good deal, or B, they comment down below and say, hey, look, man, this is not a good project. This founder, did X, Y, Z, right? And then that's sharing and networking at the right on the right realm for me. So I don't want to bore you guys a lot today. I just really wanted to jump on, go over to BBs, congratulate the team. One thing I will say is they did cross the 1,000 thresholds daily volume on the first day. So that was really good. I think right now, if you're looking at all the volume on the project since it started, you're looking at probably around $20,000 US, and probably around it's probably 2,000, maybe 2,500 Solana. So it's really impressive, right? For a project that hasn't used any money for marketing. So it's one of those things that I just want to encourage people that, hey, A, do your homework, B, don't overinvest, and then C, give things time, right? If you're a person that's digging the art, wait till the post reveal, buy it based off the art. But if you're here and just to speculate, I think it's one of the things that you just look at and do your homework. Get in at the best entry, buy the bottom, sell the top. Nobody's here to tell you to do anything different, right? But again, it's one of the things that we want to cover over here at Coinverse, man. We go through a lot of projects. We actually get invited to do videos on numerous projects. And just to let you guys know, we don't get paid for these. I literally come up here to do these videos just to tell you guys, or just to let people know, because I'm not a chain maxi. I have things on Cardano, I have Polymatic, I have Solana, I like Ethereum, I like Bitcoin. Like, I love all these things, right? I love cryptocurrency, and I think that's what we got to get back to. Make sure we're doing our homework in this bear market, and that way we're successful in the bull, okay? So again, wanted to cover those things today. Shout out to the team over there. I continue to wish you guys well. Shout out to the community over there. I wish you guys continued strength. So make sure you stay strong. And everybody else that's speculating and looking into the project, I encourage you guys to do so and challenge me in the comments. Like, let me know what you think is the things that you like about the projects and the things that you don't like about the projects. Let's talk about them in the comment section. Let's get the team in here. Let's ask them about it, right? So again, man, I want to appreciate you guys. I want to thank you guys for your time, coming over here and kicking it with me. I want to try this year to try to make these videos a little bit more low-key and chill, not really like a shill or anything. I really just want to have a discussion, right? Because everybody has an opinion. So bring your opinions over here to Coinverse. Let's talk about them over here on Vibe and Time, and let's go through them all, okay? So that's all I got for today, guys. Again, appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave out. The links down below. Have our Twitter if you guys want to shoot us a follow. Click that notification bell. That way you get all the videos, man. Like, this is free entertainment. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.